It is the last of the seven wonders of the ancient world still standing, older than the Roman Empire, older than almost every story humanity remembers. And after 4,500 years, we still cannot fully explain how it was built. 2.5 million blocks of solid stone, some weigh more than a car, some weigh more than a loaded truck, stacked into a mountain with a precision that humbles modern engineers. No cranes, no engines, no iron tools, only human hands, and a question we have never truly answered. This may be the greatest engineering puzzle in all of history. The pyramids of Egypt and the rival theories of how they rose from the sand. Around 25 and 60 BC on the Giza plateau, a pyramid was raised for the pharaoh Khufu. We call it the Great Pyramid, and the name barely does it justice. It stands over 450 feet tall, the height of a 40-story tower. For nearly 4,000 years, nothing humans built was taller. Its base is almost perfectly level, the corners off by less than an inch. And it is aligned to true north more accurately than many modern buildings, built by a civilization without compasses, or telescopes, or steel. Once, it gleamed. Polished white limestone covered every face, blazing in the desert sun. A mountain of light, visible for miles. So, how did a Bronze Age people achieve this? No pulleys, no wheels for heavy loads, no machines of any kind, and almost no record explaining how it was done. The builders left us temples, tombs, and treasure, but they did not leave us a manual. That silence is where the mystery begins. Most archaeologists agree on the broad answer. It was built by people, tens of thousands of them, brilliantly organized. And forget the old myth of slaves driven by the whip. The evidence shows skilled, paid laborers, fed and cared for. Archaeologists found their town beside the pyramids. They ate bread baked in great clay ovens and thousands of cattle. When they died, many were buried with honor near the kings they served. These were not slaves. They were a workforce that believed in what they built. And in 2013, the desert gave up an astonishing clue. The oldest written papyrus ever found, the diary of an overseer named Merer. His logbook describes hauling white limestone by boat up the Nile to Giza, written by a man who helped build the Great Pyramid in his own words. Proof that ordinary humans, organized and determined, did this. But how do you cut and move stone with copper and rope? Soft limestone, they carved with chisels and pounded with stone hammers. Harder granite, they bashed for days with balls of tougher rock. To move the blocks, they dragged them on wooden sledges across the sand. And an ancient wall painting reveals the trick. A worker pours water on the sand in front of the sledge. Wet sand is firmer and slashes the friction nearly in half. A simple secret that turns the impossible into the merely exhausting. And to lift them, the leading idea is ramps. Long, straight ramps. Ramps that spiral around the sides, even a hidden ramp coiling up inside the pyramid itself. In a nearby quarry, archaeologists even found a ramp with post holes and pulley systems. This is a powerful, evidence-based answer. Human genius, patience, and organization, on a scale we can barely imagine. And yet, even with all of this, pieces of the puzzle refuse to fit. Deep inside lies the king's chamber, roofed with enormous granite beams. Some of those beams weigh up to 80 tons. They were cut in Aswan, 500 miles to the south. 80 tons of stone, transported the length of a country, then lifted hundreds of feet into the air and set into place with care. And the precision is almost inhuman. Some blocks fit so tightly you cannot slide a sheet of paper between them. Not once, not 100 times, millions of times over. Then there is the speed. To finish in roughly 20 years, the builders had to place a block every few minutes, around the clock, for 2 decades, without stopping. Where the official story feels incomplete, bolder theories rush in. Some are clever science, some are pure imagination. All of them are trying to explain the impossible. Theory 1, the blocks were never carved, they were poured. A French scientist argued the Egyptians invented a kind of limestone concrete, cast in wooden molds, block by block, like an ancient cement. It would explain blocks that interlock like puzzle pieces. Most geologists disagree, insisting the stone is natural, but the debate has simmered for decades and never quite died. Theory 2, a lost civilization. What if an older, forgotten culture passed its knowledge down to the Egyptians? Believers point to the Great Sphinx crouching beside the pyramids. Some claim its weathering was caused by heavy rain that last fell on Egypt thousands of years before history says it was carved. Mainstream scholars reject the idea, but the thought that we have forgotten entire chapters of our past is hard to shake. Theory 3, the one everyone has heard, that visitors from the stars showed humanity how. It is the least supported theory of all, and it quietly insults the people who actually did the work. Because here is what the alien theory forgets. Every shred of hard evidence points to human hands. The real wonder is not that aliens came, it is that people did this at all. And theory 4, the strangest of them all, that the Great Pyramid was never a tomb at all, but a machine. An engineer claimed its chambers could resonate, and even generate power. It is thrilling to imagine, and far beyond the evidence. But once you have heard it, you never look at those shafts the same way again. Whatever the method, the builders understood the heavens. The 3 Giza pyramids may echo the 3 stars of Orion's belt, and narrow shafts inside point toward stars the Egyptians held sacred. These were never just piles of stone. They were messages, written in granite, meant to outlast eternity. So, what is the real answer? Most likely there is no single secret, no lost machine, no visitors from space, just generations of people solving one impossible problem at a time. And yet the gaps in the story are real. Until every question is answered, the mystery keeps breathing. For 4,500 years, the pyramids have kept their secrets. They have outlasted pharaohs, empires, and every theory we have thrown at them. Still standing, still silent, still watching. Now, we want to hear from you. Do you believe the pyramids were built by human hands alone? Or do you think we are still missing something? Drop your theory in the comments below. We read every single one. And if mysteries like this keep you up at night, you are in the right place. Subscribe to Unexplained Cosmic and help us uncover the secrets the ancients left behind. The next secret is only one video away.